Linting. I wouldn't suggest linting your cat because, as you can see here, they won't be happy. But linting your code, that's a different story. That makes everyone happy, including yourself. In the previous drill, we installed and configured ESLint, and we demonstrated how to use ESLint in the command line. And if you haven't checked that video out, just click on the card at the top right. However, as a developer, it is tedious to run the command line ESLint every time, but we want to run this real time. We want to roll away the lints as we are programming real time, not after we are done programming. ESLint extension in VS Code does exactly this. In this video, we'll walk you through installing and configuring ESLint in VS Code specifically, but the concepts carry over to, different environments, different editors, so hopefully this is helpful for you. Actually, let me know in the comments below what environment you're actually using, so I can potentially make future videos specifically tailored for you. Let's get to it. Okay, so let's implement ESLint into VS Code. So we have this simple project on the left side. We have an entry file here and two modules that are defined. And we actually have ESLint configuration set here. It's just extending the standard configuration. And we have ESLint installed. So we can actually run ESLint to see some of the errors. When we run ESLint, as you can see here, we have a bunch of errors. But it's a little bit tedious for us right now because we would have to run this command, check each individual line item, go to the file, make the change. Move on to the next file, make the change. Next file, make the change. So in order to make this workflow a little bit faster, we want these ESLints to appear real time as we're coding inside our modules or wherever. So let's implement ESLint in VS Code. And let's check that out. In order to do so, navigate to the left side, the extensions menu. And in here, let's search for ESLint. And the most popular option is this one right here by Dirk Bomber. Go ahead and install this. Now ESLint is installed. So as you can see, ESLint by default on your first run, it might not work properly. So if you actually check this on the bottom right hand side, ESLint is actually crossed out here. So whenever you're first running ESLint on this project, you may have to repeat the step. So the ESLint extension will use the ESLint in the node module folder. That is indeed where we installed ESLint. So we're going to go ahead and allow it for this project. And once you allow it, you'll see a check mark, as you can see right here, right next to the ESLint option. So now ESLint is running properly. It's using the correct ESLint in node modules. And as you can see, our code now is highlighting some of these line items with ESLint errors. ESLint, this is a quote error. ESLint is a semicolon error. Oh, just to reiterate the point, if for some reason later in your future projects this gets crossed out, you are able to configure this again by opening the command palette. That's Control-Shift-P or Command-Shift-P on Mac. Control-Shift-P and then look for ESLint and let's say manage library execution. Then it's going to open up this pop-up again. And then you can allow it, then you'll see the checkbox and then your project is indeed good to go. So let's look at some of these ESLint errors that we're seeing. So by default, as I said, we're using the standard rule. And the standard rule doesn't allow the semicolons at the end of lines. And enforces single quotes. So these are both stylistic errors that we're seeing here, right? So we can go ahead and change this individually if we want and address each error as is. You can change the single quotes and then remove the semicolons. But as you can see, it becomes very tedious. So for stylistic errors, a general rule of thumb, I would use the prettier functionality, the prettier RC, or the prettier extension in order to achieve some of these stylistic changes. So create a prettier RC file here, and then let's say single quotes. We're gonna leave it as true because the standard rules enforces single quotes, and let's leave it as false. So we do not want semicolons at the end of the line. Let's go back here. Let's resave this so that Prettier can run its function against it. Save. As you can see, The single quote, the double quotes have been switched to single quotes, and all the semicolons have been removed from the function. So there we go. We're good to go. Now look at this. I added this case Mandy, but it's throwing some sort of error here with these squiggly lines, and ESLint is catching no fall through. So exactly, we expected a break, but there is no break. So now we say, oh, my bad, and then we add whatever we need to. So that's the benefit of ESLint. So let's just say further on, let's just say I added some sort of logical error into the code. So let's say I have a duplicate key here, or a duplicate case statement. And the result, as you can see here, now ESLint is running through this code whenever you're typing, and then once you're done, it notifies you, hey, you have a duplicate logical error here. So as you can see, this is very beneficial, right? You do not have to go to the command line and run it every single time. It just does it real time for you. So let me save this file, and then, I mean, the command line still works, right? So once I save this file, it's showing the duplicate case here. This is just a lot more convenient because it shows you real time as you're typing away. So let's fix this error. Let's go ahead and fix all of our ESLint errors that it's catching. Just to reiterate the point, let's say I remove the error handling here. This whole try statement is caught by ESLint saying, hey, no, this is a useless catch. Handle the error somehow. I'm gonna fix those errors again. Error happened, and then let's just print the error object. Now, as you can see, expected trailing comma. There we go. So the standard configuration doesn't allow for these trailing commas. I'm going to actually, as organization, say, hey, I want to allow that because I just want to, and just enforce it throughout the team. You can actually define, as we talked about in the ESLint video before, you can override rules here. So I'm going to override, let's just say comma dangle is off. Now, whenever I make a change here, as you can see, now ESLint removed those errors because ESLint now reads this configuration file and then notices that comma dangle is off, so I'm not going to throw any errors for dangling commas. Okay, well, that's pretty much it. That's how you implement ESLint in VS Code. As you can see, it's very helpful in your development because it just shows everything in real time, and then you don't have to go back to the code that you were working on, run ESLint. Essentially, if you address every single squiggly line items while you're typing away, then you won't necessarily run into any ESLint issues. Yeah, so that pretty much wraps up this video. Hopefully that was helpful. Although this was specific for VS Code, like I said, you know, different editors, different environments, these concepts still carry over. So let me know in the comments below what environment you're using or what editor you're using so I can actually look into it and maybe create a video specifically for you. Alright, thank you. Alright, if you guys enjoyed that video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. Wait, how long am I doing this? Like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment. Okay, I'm done.